Hello YouTube, my name is Venator, and I hope you all are having a wonderful Friday. In today's video, we are back on Petits EU server, continuing the slaughter in West Rail Pond. But be sure to stick around, because later on we will be migrating to a new hunting area. We are going to see if the map changes introduced in this new update have made some of the often thought after ponds more viable. And if you enjoy the video, please drop a like or comment below. It really helps the channel out. But anyway, sit back, relax, and let's jump right into the killing. And what better way to start out than with a nice Rex kill? I was sitting here not really paying a ton of attention when I heard something eating, and lo and behold, this Rex had the nerve to try and eat and snag a bite from our bait. This guy must have been really hurting for food to risk eating next to this pond. There's almost always a Deino in here, and I almost feel bad for him. I've tried growing several Rexes, and I've only been successful in a couple attempts. It is a very difficult dinosaur to grow, especially on this server. At this point in this guy's grow, he's probably spent 4 or 5 hours just to get to this point. But I can't let him get to be the apex that he could become. It's just too much competition for food, and you gotta keep that population in check. And not long after, we had these two Triceratops show up, and I could tell immediately that they weren't near the full adult size, and they were definitely grabbable. As they made their way closer to the water, I could tell that they were interested in drinking, but weren't, or at least I didn't think they were fully committed. But then this white one came just within range. I think he was going to take a drink regardless, but I wasn't about to wait around and find out. You never know if someone will get to the water and then just change their mind and run off. Now, I don't know if he would have been fast enough, but either way, took him down and put him in the fridge. And while I was doing that, Sniper got back into the water and made his way over and hit a nice super lunge on this guy. I'm not really sure what this trike was thinking, because he just stood in the same place and watched as I took his friend down, and he could definitely see Sniper get back in the water. Maybe at that point he just didn't care and wanted to go down with his friend. You gotta respect it. And unfortunately, after this double kill, Sniper had to log off for the day. So when we came back for our next session, well, we kind of were surprised. There was a full prime Rex sitting in the bush that we logged in. And on top of that, 2 Deinos were in the pond. This one right in front of me was an easy grab, and I took him down because, well, we didn't want to compete for the pond. And Sniper, well, he was chasing that guy all the way up the hill, but I cautioned him to come back because this Rex saw him do the same thing and was chasing him, well, not really chasing, but heading his way. So it was risky to go up there, but he made it back down unharmed. And then we had these aloes walk up, and they stopped just within range. And I was able to get a nice super lunge on this big one before he was able to turn out. He tried, but at the last second it was too late. And this Rex definitely noticed it. As soon as he saw me go so far out of the water, he started booking it towards me. And Sniper, trying to get the aloe, well, he was coming to help, but we had to retreat back into the water because this guy would kill us if he caught us out on land. Thankfully, he missed his crush bite that was going for Sniper, and it missed me, so we got back into the water basically unharmed. And we kept our kill on top of it, which is always a plus. And then funny enough, after a little while, the same Rex that was trying to kill us, he dragged down the Deino corpse that he had killed up there on the hill. The same one that Sniper had chased out of the pond and started this whole ordeal. I guess maybe he felt bad and wanted to give us a peace offering for food. And while a nice gesture, I wasn't about to leave the water with him in the vicinity and risk taking a bite. We had our aloe down there in the fridge, so we were good on food, even if we couldn't eat from that body. And then, that night, I had this prime Carno come up to take a drink. And like I talked about earlier, I thought he was going to turn tail and run. Turns out, he was just trying to position himself so he could escape quicker. Unfortunately for him though, doesn't really matter how you position. Drinking right there is an easy grab, and down in the refrigerator he goes. And like all hunting spots, eventually they go cold. And in our case, we didn't see anything for the rest of that night. It wasn't until the next day, when some fog rolled in, that we had this nice sized stego come up for a quick drink. This would hold us over, but we wouldn't have to wait long, because shortly after, we had this full dibble show up. I don't think he was a prime or a full prime yet, but he was getting close. He was enough food to fill both Sniper and I all the way back up to 100 at least. And if you haven't noticed, I'm putting nearly every kill under here. This log is so nice to use in West Rail. It saves so much stamina and can allow you to get some nice multi-kills, especially if you have a partner. And this is another perk of having a partner. If two things show up, well, you can get both of them, just like we did on these patches here. Double kills are my favorite. It's so nice when you and your partner are in perfect sync with your grabs. And people rarely expect there to be two Deinos in here. This pond often is thought of as a place that can only support one full prime Deino. But either way, it's a great place to hunt. And this Carno, well, he took a little bit of a risk coming here, and he paid the price for it. Even though I was alone, like I said, this log can allow some nice follow-up grabs. I was able to go and at least attempt a super lunge on this guy. I highly doubt he was expecting it, but he was ready, and as a Carno, he was able to get away. It was a nice attempt though. Come that next morning, I decided it was time to head out. I wanted to see if a pond to the northeast of here was a very good or populated place to hunt, and that's called Landslide Lake. And now I know what you guys are thinking. I've been there before to no success, but with the recent changes to the map, the entire northwest section of the map has been taken off, and now with the added sanctuary right in Highlands, this spot has become, or at least I'm hoping, a more popular spot to drink. It's out of the way, and not many people I feel like would expect to have a Deino there. The sad thing is though, the layout of the pond hasn't changed. It still has a few downsides to hunting, but either way, if you can have success in ponds like these, they can be gems for solo growing. Finding a spot to finish out a grow is probably one of the more difficult things to do now, especially because of how spread out everything is. With the addition of Rex and Aloe, things are not nearly as congregated around water sources as they used to be, and it's made Deino life a lot harder. Outside of that first raptor, things were looking pretty bleak until this big dibble showed up. Had this guy not came and literally walked right on top of me, I probably would have starved. And I got pretty lucky because I almost fumbled a grab. I don't know what the deal is, but sometimes if you just hit something or at the wrong angle, you will still just randomly drop targets. And that can be excruciatingly painful, especially if your hunger's low. At this point, I had only seen that raptor, and I wasn't sure when the next thing would come, so if I lost this guy, that could have been the end of me, or I would have had to leave and head back to West Rail a lot sooner than I was hoping for. Thankfully though, that dibble got me all the way back to full hunger, and it wasn't too long before I saw something else, although this time it was a small Rex. And this guy, well, he didn't die from the grab damage, so he was just starting to hit his growth spurt. And poor guy, I think he might have had a skin. It was too hard to tell in the dark for sure though. Not long after, I had another small Rex come up and try and drink from the pond. This one I didn't even need to grab. I could tell he was small enough that he was going to go down from one bite. Poor guy got taken out before his life could even start. But like I say, you gotta keep that Rex population in check. And after I killed that Rex, I was in the back of the pond getting oxygen when this Omni came out of nowhere. I have no idea where this guy came from. I guess he had to have slid down from the cliff above me. Either way, bad luck on his part. Unfortunately for me though, after that, my luck went cold. I didn't see anything for a long time, until I've noticed these little two aloes drinking behind me. Even though it's not a lot, anything helps. And when you're close to starvation, you will take anything you can get. I was only able to get one of them though. I had to surface because the gap there underwater is too small for a full prime Deino. This body may only give me a few percent, but that's a few more minutes and gives me extra time to wait on something bigger to come behind them. Alas, nothing did. And so, my experiment at Landslide Lake had come to a screeching halt. I don't know if it was a failure. I got more things than I did the last time, but I think here, at this particular spot, it's just too difficult or too spotty to really sustain a full Deino. So I headed out and went back to West Rail. And I messed up the journey there, as you can tell, because I got here on red water. When on the walk there, well, I got there with water to spare. When I got here, I was really hoping there was a Deino. As you can tell, I'm basically out of food, so I was going to log immediately. I was going to fill up my water and get out of here. But at the last second, Marty, man, made a big mistake. He said hi to a bigger Deino, and he had no way of knowing it, but I was starving. I was going to be on red hunger here in the next few minutes. And since I didn't hear anything outside, I knew he had to be in the pond. And sure enough, I swam right over him, but he came out behind me. It was an easy grab, and it saved my life. So Marty, if you're out there, I'm sorry I had to kill you, but I will not allow myself to starve, as no Deinos should. It's just the way things are, and I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me, and I wish you all the luck in your next grow, because you kept this Deino going when I thought I was about to starve and be right back on the respawn screen. This body would fill me all the way up and allow me to continue playing. And sure enough, as good as West Rail is, I wouldn't have to wait long for more things to come to the pond. And it did not. After about 20 minutes, I had this big stego come up for a drink. Perfect size to grab and take down. And it was perfect timing too, because Sniper was able to get on and log back in with me, and he needed some food. So now that we were both at full hunger, we could stay here for up to almost 2 hours off of full food. And then we had these aloes come up, and one stopped just long enough for me to attempt a super lunge, and I barely missed him. This guy was able to just turn out of the way at the very last second. But I could have made a crucial mistake here, because as you can see, 2 of them slowed me down. Luckily I had Sniper Dude, and he dashed right through one of them that was pounced on me, and grabbed another one that was behind me. So, at least now we know, you cannot grab something that is pounced on your teammate. But anyway, that concludes today's Deino adventure. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you all next time, and happy hunting.